One day, Thomas was waiting as Neil was shunting in a brake van and some flatbeds. The shunting took a long time and Thomas was worried. "I'm going to be late for Henry on the mainland. He won't like it. Please hurry up, Neil." Soon, Neil finished shunting. "Your freight cars are ready," Neil explained. "Oh, finally," Thomas said proudly. Neil had some special advice. "Be careful. The mainland is many miles away," Neil said. "Don't be back late, Thomas." That evening, Thomas was on his way to the mainland. Up ahead, Thomas saw the flagman. "What is it?" asked Thomas. But the flagman had bad news. "The landslide is blocking the track," he reported. "We're gonna have to put a barrier beside it." "Will do, sir," replied Thomas's driver. Soon, Thomas stopped by an area where the landslide was happening. "It won't be safe for big, strong engines like Henry," said the driver, "but for Thomas, it's all right." The driver put the warning sign by the landslide to warn engines. "When we get to the mainland, I'll tell Henry's driver to close the track." So Thomas was glad and they set off for the mainland. That night on the mainland, Henry waited anxiously for Thomas's freight cars. "Thomas!" Henry said crossly. "What are you doing here? It's late! It's 11:30 p.m. "I know I'm late," objected Thomas crossly. "There is a delay back on Sodor. There is a landslide happening, and I had to see the flagman. That's why I'm late." "Stuff and nonsense," Henry huffed snootily. "You're full of yourself, aren't you, Thomas? Now enough with this nonsense and get your freight cars coupled to my train." "All right, Henry," sighed Thomas sadly. Soon, Henry was hitched up to Thomas's flatbeds. When Henry was ready to go, he was leaving the goods yard with his long, heavy train called the Flying Kipper. "Where's Henry going tonight?" asked Thomas's driver. "Probably back on Sodor," said Thomas. "But I told you," said his driver, "when Henry arrives back on Sodor, he'll have an accident." So Thomas's driver rushed off to the telephone booth. Henry raced past the station. "I'll soon get to Sodor in the morning," Henry said conceitedly. The station master answered the telephone, but he couldn't hear the warning. But when he did, Henry was way too far and rushed away into the distance. When Henry reached Sodor, he was going as fast as he could. Suddenly, Henry discovered that Gordon was on the same track. Gordon could see Henry ahead, Get out of my way! Shouted Gordon. The points were switched, and Henry was diverted onto the other line. Suddenly, Henry realized that he was out of control. I can't stop! Wailed Henry. Then, Henry could see the landslide blocking the track. Henry braked hard, but it was too late. Luckily, nobody was hurt. That morning, when Henry had been dug out, Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to Henry. You have caused confusion and delay, scolded Sir Topham Hatt. You were meant to deliver your cars to Brandon Docks on time, not end up in avalanches being late. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir, apologized Henry. A little bit later, Thomas arrived. He could see that Henry was off the track. Oh my, Henry, laughed Harvey. You got into an accident when you left the mainland. So you need a washdown first. But there was worse to come. Oh, look, laughed Dowager Hat. Henry has an accident with some freight cars. Isn't that right, Gremlin? Woof, woof, agreed Gremlin. Henry felt more upset than ever. Soon, Henry was back on the rails. Harvey now felt sorry for Henry. I'm very sorry I laughed at you, said Harvey, but Sir Topham Hatt says you need a washdown. Then you would feel much better. Soon, Henry was having a washdown, just as Thomas arrived. I'm sorry that I was rude to you, Thomas. That's all right, said Thomas. Do you know what happened? What happened? An accident. Yes, indeed, replied Henry happily.